Well, hi, and welcome to my shop for another round of analyzing audio here. In my last video, I employed some interesting techniques to try to get a better grip on the quality of sound coming through the radio, particularly just before and just after the detector. And a couple of things I saw yesterday caused me to spend the rest of my day thinking on and off about this, and I'm here this morning to go a little further with what I was doing yesterday. I kind of thought I was done with it yesterday. No, I don't think so. So the first thing that stuck in my craw yesterday was looking at this and seeing, it's really obvious today, the difference between this part of the curve and this part of the curve. They're wildly different. They're not balanced properly at all. So this is at 75 kilocycle FM deviation, which means this would be occurring in regular programs if we were listening to them. By the way, I've acquired a couple of ground loops here in my shop since yesterday, and so there's a bit of a hum you're going to hear. Some hums, so it's a little bit confusing about just who's making the hum here. So we'll try to ignore hums. Just a small aside. So is this misshape here really the related to the harmonics we saw on the other display? Good question. Let's put this up on the other display here. Okay, so we're going to hear it now. So even if you look at the display from the computer analysis, even with my voice stuck on top of it, you can see the same kind of strange wave shape in the upper waves. Now if you look at the frequency display below, just be aware that it's quite different from the last video. Somehow I've got it expanded out to almost 15 kilohertz. I don't know how I did that, and I don't know how to get it back. So it's displaying much more of the signal. Also, you notice there's a red and a green and two channels showing now. So in the upper display, you've got a left and a right channel. I'm not exactly sure which is which yet, but we won't worry about that. And down below are the left and right channels, one on top of the other. So you see the green and red line there is really where there's some divergence between the two signals, and so the red line or the green line shows up. So I tried my best to separate the lower display. I couldn't figure out how to do it. The software is super complex. It's just super complex stuff. It's really great, in fact, but it's gone over my head at the moment. So I'm thinking maybe I can make some adjustments that are going to increase or decrease these harmonic effects, and maybe I can straighten out the display. Now, there is another typical scope display, I haven't got it going right now, which involves showing an S-curve. We'll get around to that in a little bit. Let's just fool around with these displays before I mess everything up. Let's see if we can't do something to smooth these out, and the something would be fiddling around with, basically with this can here. Wow, that's hot. It's hot because of this. These two tubes are just, wow, it's only been on for a short while too. Hot stuff. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, let's see. So we'll just turn the sound off so we don't have to listen to that. We'll just watch the scope. And I'm going to fiddle with, let's say, first, I believe the primary side of this transformer is here. Let's just turn it a little bit and see what happens. Now, if it's the primary side, all that's going to happen is it's going to get bigger or smaller. We want it as big as we can get it, and this tool is just not working for me. That's my homemade one. Okay, so we're going to have to use a metal driver in here. Okay, here we go. So I'm just trying to max this now. That's about max. So that's the most we're going to get through the primary. And the secondary is the one that's going to change the shape dramatically, I think. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, that kind of answers the question right there, doesn't it? Okay, so let me put it back to the lousy shape it was in, something like that. Now we're going to turn up the spectrum display and try the same thing. This time just concentrating on the harmonic peaks, which are now all squeezed on the left side of the screen. I'll show you with the mouse here. Let's bring it up. See, they're all over here. They're all over here now. That's the primary, and these are harmonics. We want to adjust that and see if we can make these just kind of disappear. And I won't cheat by looking at the scope. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Very interesting. So I'm just looking at the spectral display, and I'm trying to reduce the, I guess you'll call it the first harmonic that's there. I would say that's a minimum, and now I look over at the scope. Hey, it looks like a nice. So let me muck it up here. So I can hear it in my headphones too. Hear it? That's fantastic. Okay, hey, now that was great. Oh, you can't imagine the amount of time I spent twiddling stuff on this radio, not on video, in which the results I got were nothing like what I expected. So, but this is great. Let's try a higher frequency here. That looks perfectly fine. Now the thing about this frequency is it's reduced. It's fallen off. We're only at 5 kilohertz, and the deviation has remained fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and muck this up. Let's first try this one down here. This is for strength. I can't imagine it would be any different. Okay, here we go. About the same, and now okay, now this will be shape and harmonics. Okay, so I don't really hear harmonics. Let's look at the okay, so interesting. So I'm looking at the spectrum display now. I see the 5 kilohertz standing there quite proudly, and right around 10 is a harmonic. There, now you can see the harmonic. I can kind of knock out the original signal and leave the harmonic. That would look to me to be about the best. I'm going to look back at the scope. I appear to get the highest here, the highest signal. Let's look back at the so I'm going to put it highest on the scope here. Okay, that's highest on the scope. We'll change frequency. You can see the jump up in the size again. Oops, I touched it a little bit. Same thing happening here at this frequency. Now you can clearly hear the... So I think I know what the lesson is here. The lesson is distortions at lower frequencies produce harmonics that are more in the range of your hearing. So it's the lower frequencies that are going to sound off, if you like. And of course, you're listening to music, you can't sort all that out in your head while you're listening, unless the music is very specific. But if it's just a jumble of sounds, you're really going to have a hard time spotting that the lower tones have harmonics, annoying grating harmonics. So that being the case, then I would be wise to do this at this frequency, 1000, and also at 400. Let's go to 400 here. So it looks pretty good on the scope. And what I see on the harmonic display, on the left there, I see the original and one harmonic. And I think there's one in the middle that's suppressed. Let's see. Yeah. So this is all adding up. The thing is, if you do it at the lower frequency, you can hear it much more distinctly. The higher frequency, at least I can't hear the harmonic that's coming and going at the higher frequencies. So we're going to try to do this by ear. I mean, good luck in the first place, but that's some of the, I guess, some of the keys to it. Now, another thing I'm trying to do for myself and anybody who happens to be watching this video is trying to train my ear so when I play any FM radio, I can hear this stuff. I can recognize what's going on. That's what I'm trying to do in the background. Turn myself into a bit of an instrument. Okay, now the next thing was after I'm not going to bother with the S curve. I'm sure we're right in the middle of it now. So what I'm going to do is move on to the kind of the next stage, which is the stereo decoder, and we'll take a look at what's going on with the stereo decoder. So let me flip it into stereo here. Is it in stereo? I like that. The stereo button's been down all this time. Okay, let's repeat everything. Stereo button off. Now, I've looked in the circuit diagram about this, and when you switch off stereo, you actually feed the composite output coming from the detector straight on into the audio amplifier. Probably everything above the left plus right in the composite signal is thrown away. It's probably filtered out. So just the left plus right comes through. The whole thing bypassing this circuit down here completely. Hold on a sec here. So this is what we're going to be going after in a moment. So on this, we have left and right. Something here, I don't know what it is, because again, it's all in German. We have quite a few coils and transformers up here, and something over here. All of which are open for adjustment. To what end? So part of what's going on down here is it's taking the 19 kilohertz and doubling it to 38, and then boosting that in a resonant circuit to give it a little bit of oomph. Almost certainly the tube is involved in this. And then the 38 kilohertz is used to switch in amongst these diodes that basically switch left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. That's basically what it's doing. So the incoming signal is being chopped into left and right, left and right, left and right, and then directed to the appropriate speaker or appropriate channel of audio. Left, right, left, right, left, right. That's what's going on. It's happening so fast you can't hear it because it's based on 38 kilohertz. You're not going to hear that. Although the Russians discovered you can hear up to 60 kilohertz if it's loud enough. Can you believe that? And I don't think I'd want to hear 60 kilohertz if it's loud enough. I heard that a long time ago. I don't know if it's true. So, we actually don't need to listen to that while I'm talking here. So I could twiddle these a little bit, see what's up. Pretty sure about these two. Not sure about, I'm pretty sure where they are in the circuit, but I'm not so sure what they do. I think a little twiddling on these resistors is warranted. So what we'll do is, we'll do this one step at a time. We can concentrate on the scope image, I think. So let's take a look at, let's put it in stereo first. Yeah, a small boost in the signal, maybe because of the tube down in the decoder. Now we will start by adjusting these things. Let's put one channel on. Okay, that's a left channel. According, let's say my signal generator says left on it, but my gosh, it's it's gone left, right so many times. Who knows what you might hear in your ears? Doesn't sound left or right. Okay, so to my ear, that sounds a little bit to the right. That sounds a little more distinctly to the left. Let's see if we can make this go better. Okay, and I'm going to turn my headphones around here so that my left and right match and they do. So I'm going to try to move this left one more left. Scope should help. So I should be able to reduce. Let's start with this guy here. Okay. Here we go. So this one is all the way one way. That's where it was. It's turned all the way one way. Seems to just be affecting the right. The right? The top? I don't know. The top on the scope. And we'll try the other one. It's almost like this is nothing more than volume controls. So to provide a balance. One of them's all the way one way. That's kind of weird. Why wouldn't they be more in the middle? So let's go back to mono here. Okay, so in mono this is not having much effect at all. In mono the signal should not be going through these. Imagine that any effect is kind of an accidental kind of effect, not intended. Okay, set them both straight up. It's my I can send a stereo left and a stereo right signal. It looks like I cannot send stereo mono. If you know what I mean. An identical signal out of both channels. So I can equalize them. Okay, so I got a notion what's going on. I'm going to assume those two controls are nothing more than volume controls. Now, I'm back on the left, which doesn't sound very left. Let's try this guy. Okay. Okay, now that's not what you want. It didn't seem to do anything. That's bad. I don't like that. So rather than continue guessing, I really don't want to guess at these cans because there's potentially 6 different slugs to move in here. I better sort this out. So I'm going to stop for a minute. I'm going to study the schematic on my own for a while. See if I can't get a better grip on what these cans are doing, what order they should be done in, what the effect is of doing them, what the heck I should do about them. But I think we can make an improvement here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I read over the instructions as best I can, and it's not the greatest. The scary thing about this is there is an expectation that I'm going to feed a 7.5 kilohertz into the left channel, 8.5 kilohertz into the right channel. Somewhere down the line while making these adjustments, I'm going to find a 1 kilohertz, different signal, and some adjustments are made based on the 1 kilohertz. I can't generate those 2 signals. I can't follow these instructions. They're in German anyway. But at least I've got an order to things. Right in here it gives the order. And what I've done is I've very cleverly written the order here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not what you would imagine at all. And I'm going to adjust those in that order. We're going to watch both channels. I'm going to take my time on this and try not to muck it up. So number 1, and this first can has only 1 coil in it, the number 1. So we're going to start on the number 1. Right now I have a left channel only signal coming in, but you can see it on both channels. Okay, I'm watching for the slug is right there. Okay, so I definitely see one channel going up and the other going down. The other way. Now there seems to be almost zero difference between the 2 channels. Okay, so let's go back up. Man, this thing was almost at the top. That's not having much effect anymore. Let's go on the other. Now I'm listening for harmonics. I've trained my ear to hear them. The wave shapes look terrible here to me. They look a little better there. In terms of maximum channel separation, there's a spot. Right in here. That seems to be maximum channel separation. Not bad. Okay. Now what else can we do here? Some of these things are adjusting the 38 kilohertz, the phase, the 19 kilohertz, things like that. So let's take a look. Number two is bottom of the other end 1. Bottom of the other end 1. I'm using a metal screwdriver here. I want to. Is there a bottom? Definitely a bottom. I need to stick my head right in there. You see a big flash at this point. Okay, I gotta hold this. Maybe I can get away with this. So I got it. Okay, watching the scope. I heard a harmonic come. You know what, I can only turn this one way again. Okay, we gotta go in with the metal screwdriver. Let's just see if I can cover it with something here. I'm gonna have to take my eyes off the screwdriver. Okay. Think I got it? Okay, watching the scope now. Get better separation there. Change the channel. This is the maximum separation. Same thing. Right there. Not quite equal. It could be as you suppress one of these channels down, you introduce harmonics into it at the same time, but hopefully it's all getting quieter. You can't hear them. Does that make any sense at all? I don't know. So that's where we're at with that. It's much more left-right to my ear. The next one would be number 4, top of the middle. Top of the middle one. That's this one here. Am I saying things, or did the voltage in my house just jump 5 volts? It's just, when I'm looking at the scope, I can see this meter here. Look at it go. And I woke up this morning to a power outage, so I'm a little late in the shop here because the power was out for 2 hours in my house this morning. Okay, back to what I'm doing now. Back on the scope. Doing, but I'm just watching channel separation while I'm doing this. That seems to max it. Other way around. I think we'll get the same result. Very grindy in here. Yeah, you know, it's okay. It's number 3. Duh. Number 3 is the bottom of this one. What a dummy. Okay, bottom of that one. Holy smokes. Don't short anything out. Okay, we're in. Sort of. Oh, I can't get the tools straightened up here. These tools, you don't get these tools perfectly straight in line. The screwdriver's banging on this. Watch your fingers, Jim. Okay, I got it. Watching. Seem to be in the sweet spot to me, right there. Okay, now I also saw in the instructions, let's see, there's still one slug I never turned. That's the top one there. The top one, number 302. Oh, I got this wrong. 7612. 7 6. And then 2. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done this 304. It's 302 here. It's this one here. I did the wrong one. Okay, so we'll do this one, last one. Now, you know, the reason this might be already in the right spot is because I've adjusted the others to it. I mean that's not supposed to happen. Oops. And you do these in the proper order. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, that's it for that. Now, the next thing is, this is where it starts talking about the 1 kilohertz, 302 and 304. Make something maximum. 302. 4. It's really the ones that are in here. What am I making maximum? Not a lot of change in there. I think I'm going to leave that as is. Let's go on to the next. So the next one's 327, no, 325 and 327. So that's this and this. That's got it right on it, 325, 327. Somehow those two are done in some way. You're supposed to pay attention to a 1000 hertz signal somehow, some way. Well, it looks to me to be better way over here. Let's go to the other channel. Same thing here. Seems to like it way over here. Is that because this control is way off on one side while the other adjustments were being made? I need to stick it right in the middle. Well, maybe this one comes into play. This was also over all the way one way. Oh my gosh, look at that. I just knocked it right out. Oh my gosh, that's a lot better. So again, I'm all the way one way. All the way one way. All the way the other way. Okay, so let's put this in the middle. Put that in the middle. And go back to doing those again. See if we can't do a little better on them. So number 1 from the top. Take it from the top. Just seems to make a maximum signal right there. Number 2, bottom of this one. Okay. different. Right there. The next one is number 3, bottom of the middle. Okay, here we go. There's not much to find there, right in this area. And number 4, which is top of the first. First or the third. There. Now we go back to these resistors and see if we got these working in the center now by some chance. Well, pretty much seems like it gets worse going this way, but turning it down doesn't do much. So we're going to leave it in the middle. We'll try this guy. And we get more of them that way. Again, all the way one way. You know, this one really is the same boat, all the way the other way. Another little adjustment here. This is probably related to generating the 38 kilohertz. Okay, let's mess this one up. Okay, so it shows no change. With a little bit of adjustment, I'm going to leave it. And then we have this last one here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look where we've gotten to here. So I think we're gonna have to do the harmonic thing here. Let me see if I can just fix my scope. There. I'm sorry it's not triggering, but at least it's smooth. So when I look at this wave on my scope, it doesn't look right. It looks distorted. In terms of channel separation, I don't think you can get much better than that. This wave looks nice. Let's see if I can freeze her up. Okay, so you know, to my eye, that looks nice. The other. This one looks wrong right in here. Looks wrong in here. Like somebody's taken this peak and kind of pushed it over a little bit. So I'm going to adjust some controls and see what affects that. I'm not even looking at the spectrum display yet. So what's likely to affect that? Let me fool with the resistors because they're so darn easy. So that's just seems to be size only. You can hear something. Let's just bring it in the other channel. Okay, I'm pretty sure this first box is size only. Let's run through them again and we'll watch what happens. So the first one is, we're skipping the first one, we're doing number 2, which is down in here. So now whether this could even cause the kind of distortion we're chasing here, I'm not sure. I would think there's a lot of potential considering what's going on in these diodes for distortions to enter into it. Oh, that fixed it. Yeah, that fixed it. You could even hear it. Hear it? Okay, it didn't create a new ruin the separation. Let's go to the other channel. It doesn't look any good now. It's an ugly one. Look at that. One or the other. Pretty soon we're going to start looking at this on the. Okay, here we go. On the. It's quite a different spot. So I'm going to put it kind of between. And we'll go on to the next one, which is bottom of the middle. Let's see what it does to wave shape here. All in an effort to get rid of harmonics. Here we go. Looking at the top one. Anything happening? Holy smokes. Another one of those. There it goes down. Can't tell what I'm doing with my hand. I may be going a little quick. Pretty much put it back where it was. It's not a very sharp thing happening. How about this guy? But you know, that wave looks nice. That wave looks nice. That wave looks crappy. How did that get crappy? Sounds a little crappy. You can hear this. Here's something happening. That looks a little bit nicer. So I'm going to start doing this using the spectrum display above. So I'm looking on the left, the very extreme left. We're just going to watch those now. Let's see, go through fiddling with all these again. Starting with in order, skipping number 1, doing number 2. Okay, well, watching very carefully. This seems to be a sweet spot in terms of so that I don't know what to call it, first or second harmonic. This one right here. That one's reduced. Sine wave looks beautiful on the scope. Other one, not so good. Peaky on the bottom, roundy on the top. Okay, so trying once again, looking at the spectrum display, doing number 2. Here. And you know what? I see the sine wave on the scope is peaked and its shape looks good. The thing on the bottom looks bad now, even though it's small. Looks bad. Doesn't look terrible. Let me adjust this. We'll try and watch both. Oh, look. Maybe that's all there is to it. Just watch both. That looks terrible. I got it there. Yep. It's like you only get one channel at a time to really come in properly. If we want to get that sweet sound out of this receiver, we got to get this to work right. So we minimize this channel. If this channel is minimized, the mess it's in won't really matter. You can't hear it. So the other one looks great there, looking at the spectrum display. So bad. Now the separation isn't as good as it was. Can I compensate for it with these resistors now? Not at all. Okay, so I've just tried to get some kind of feeling for how all these work together. No, I didn't. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to verify the S-curve on the output coming from the IF, and I'm going to try anyway, and we're going to go from there. So let me just get this hooked up here. S-curve. That's the S-curve there. That's the center. Well, it looks like the radio's not tuned to begin with. Let's tune the radio properly here. Oh my gosh. Okay, that doesn't look like an S-curve to me. That looks a little more like an S curve. This is the strength adjustment here. Oh, it's moving it a little bit too. Let's get it maxed out size-wise. Put it in the middle. Tune the radio. Okay, so what's coming out of here now is correct to go into the decoder. So it's all about the decoder from here. Just have to change a couple things on the old scope here. So I'm plugging in the two audio channels here from the receiver. Okay, let's put it like that. Why is one channel showing nothing? Both on the same scales there. Okay, so what we hear on the video is independent of the level it reaches this. That looks scary. So that's supposed to be the right channel only. Okay, so we know the right signal's being sent. I gotta clean this baby up now. Here we go. How many times? Round and round and round we go. Starting with the number 1. Wow, well, that made a huge difference right there. Look at that, eh? I still see a distortion in the other channel. The top of the sine wave looks messy. Let's see if we can get rid of it with this control. Spectrum display here. Okay, so I'm looking at the spectrum display and the harmonics that are visible on it. Also looking at the scope and knocking out one channel. Let's see if we can mess this whole baby up. So what's so bad about that? It's just not quite square, not square, not square. Seems a little bit better. So that's going to be about the best for both. Where I have it now. Okay, wow, how can I get better channel separation than that? Next. Just run through these. So number 2 is this one. Just follow the directions here. That's affecting the right in there. Beautiful, beautiful. It. Best spot I can find. And we're on to these guys. Some distortion in that upper curve. Let's see if we can get rid of it. Here. There. And they're looking pretty good. Let's mess them up more. Good. Now, these guys both set to their limits here the whole time I did that. Look at that. Huh. So this one is affecting the left channel no matter how you have the transmitter set. One's affecting the other channel. There. Well, I think I've done it. I think we got maximum separation, minimum distortion, minimum harmonic distortion somehow through all that fiddling. So I'm real happy with the result here. Look at that. Mono. We gotta listen to it. Let's listen to it. Okay. Guess we need an antenna on it here. Oh baby, you gotta do it for me here. Okay, let's go tuning. Oops. Let's see where we are. That's mono. That one's mono. Well, you know what? The reception is very weak.
Today's best mix, right here. 93.1 Fresh Radio and 93.1freshradio.ca.
James, perhaps you can explain the connection?
It's simple, Doc. In addition to radio and TV, Alert Ready will now send life-saving emergency alerts to...
Cell phones?
Exactly. But check compatibility at alertready.ca. When you hear... stop, listen, and respond.
I'm Rita Chelly at Ontario Today.
On June 7th, voters will elect a new government. I don't know who voters will choose. That is up to them. But I'm pretty sure that it won't be me.
Conceding defeat before Election Day. Where does this leave you?
This is a mono station.
This is CBC News.
Yeah, CBC is
From
mono.
CBC Toronto, here's the news at 12 noon. It is mostly cloudy, 17 degrees. Good afternoon, I'm Makta Gebrselassie. Well, audio released by the Liberal campaign is raising questions about the Ontario Progressive Conservatives' commitment to gun control. The Liberals played the audio this morning at a news conference in Toronto. CBC's Linda Ward has the story.
The man in the audio was heard saying, "Guns don't kill people, crazy people with guns kill people." The Liberal camp calls the audio Trump-esque and say it proves PC leader Doug Ford is in the pocket of the gun lobby.
There's a gun lobby in Canada?
5.9. This is CKKXFM.
And a black monkey also taken in the...
Car radios, 95.9 FM, HD1.
Okay, so here's where we stand with this radio now. I think the tuning of the stereo decoder, detector, all that kind of stuff, the IF, all good. The sensitivity of the set is not very good. It's not very good at all, in fact. Maybe we put a much better antenna on it, but frankly, they don't really get much better than what we've got here already, which is a nice dipole antenna built for this radio. So, son of a gun, I think we're going back to the front end now, and to try to find out why is this weak on FM. Uh-oh. But other than that, wow, it sounds great. It's separating even the weakest of FM signals very nicely. Really good. I really enjoyed that. I like the spectrum analyzer, the double scope, the whole shot. So thanks a lot for watching, and I think next time we're on this, we're going to look for why is FM weak, and hopefully we'll find something simple.